Hello there, thanks for joining me for the Brookvale Oval clash between Manly and Eastern Suburbs, where a very good crowd has turned out to watch the contest between these two heavyweight clubs. Well, a particular welcome to the droves of new viewers the big league has recruited from outside the metropolitan area. We hope you enjoy it wherever you are. Manly's great form to defeat Balmain last round, despite lack of scrum possession and a big penalty count against them, points to a very dedicated defensive approach acquired under coach Ray Ritchie. Last year, each side won at home. In the match on the 12th of April 80 at Brookvale, Edie started this effort, resulting in a superb Dorohee try and a massive 34-7 victory to Manly. Their only really good result of the year, it must be said. Fortunately for Manly, both Edie and Dorohee have started the season well. A continuation of their present form would see them press strongly for representative honours. The Sea Eagles have no injury problems presently, so the side remains intact. It's good to see red-haired lock forward Paul Vaughton reproduce the great tackling which he displayed early on with Manly. His high work rate and defence is very valuable. Finally, as a long-time fan of Tom Mooney's, the wing three-quarter, I've only seen him play in the 7 seasons he's been with the club, one what I consider a substandard game. That happened to be last week, but knowing Tommy, I'm willing to bet money that he reverses that today. Let's have a look now at Eastern Suburbs. First up, 1 point loss to Balmain, in which centre Ron Gitto was sent off. And last week's close thing with Penrith after skipper Royce Ayliffe was dismissed has given the Roosters a mixed start to 1981. Ayliffe's 6-week suspension is a heavy blow to the team. However, Queenslander Dave Brown, at 6 feet and just under 16 stone, has the confidence of coach Bobby Fulton, who's convinced he'll have a bright future in Sydney Rugby League. One of the young forwards East are looking to is second rower Paul McCabe. He showed pace and aggression in scoring this fine try against Manly at the sports ground last year when the Eagles were whacked 29-9. And he's in bright form again this year. With centre Noel Cleal out with an ankle problem, it's apparent the club will have to bring Kerry Boosted back into the centre position. This means Marty Gurr shifts to his specialist position of fullback, and following on from that, it's clear that there are 3 wingers left, Terry Fay, McFarlane and Michael, one of which will have to play in the centre. The club intend to surprise their opponents, Manly, with that information as a fait accompli on the paddock. Manly Eastern Suburbs clashes traditionally produce scintillating football. Settle back now with me and watch both these sides take the field. Through the streamers and coloured paper come the Manly side, led by their skipper, Terry Randall. This is the full team. Graham Eadie, Tom Mooney, John Dorohee, Russell Gartner, Chris Montgomery, Alan Thompson, John Gibbs, Paul Vaughton, Les Boyd, Jeff Gerard, Mark Broadhurst, Ray Brown, Terry Randall. The coach, Ray Ritchie. Mercurial, quicksilver, evasive. All these words describe Johnny Gibbs when he runs, head back, socks down. His continued bright attacking form will be important to Manly today. Eastern Suburbs, and we can tell you now that Terry Fay will be playing in the centre in number 2 with Kerry Boosted. Marty Gurrs at fullback in number 3. David Michael in number 4. This is the full side. Kerry Boosted in number 1. Terry Fay 2. Steve McFarlane 5. Robert Laurie 6. Kevin Hastings 7. John Tobin, Des O'Reilly, Paul McCabe, Dave Brown, Jeff Masterman, John Harvey. And the coach is Bob Fulton. 14 points last week against Penrith made Hastings the virtual man of the match of his own. His tough knock-em-down style will be compared with his opponent, Johnny Gibbs, today. Referee, Mr. John Gosha. And there it is. Since Manly entered the first grade in 47, there have been 71 clashes between these two in premiership games. Manly have won 46, East have won 23, draws 2. And at Brookvale, there have been 23 games. Manly have won 18, East have won 5. Gurr in possession, the fullback playing in number 3. The fullback with the delicate tactical kicks. John Gosha will have a pretty heavy game on his hands today. Harvey playing against his old club, and he got well and truly met there by Terry Randall, a former teammate. Randall in again with another bone-shattering shoulder charge. Masterman a dummy half. On the blind side come the tricolours. Dave Brown. Hastings. Good pass away there as he was tackled to Paul McCabe. And that's the 6. Masterman having a brief word with Kevin Hastings there about the feed into the scrum. Hastings put in. And it's a penalty to Manly straight off. Incorrect feed by Hastings. Differential penalty, of course. Kick for touch by Manly, or up and under. Any sort of kick they wish, but they can't score a goal from it. Edie's kick to the grandstand side, about 11 metres out now from the Eastern Suburbs line. Brown, restart. Broadhurst, set-piece move, and Boyd puts it down. First tackle. Bad bit of football, and Boyd's hurt his left arm a little bit, or his left shoulder. Laurie into Harvey. Look for Harvey to have a big game today too, because players invariably come up well against their former teams. That breeze favouring Manly in the first half, Barry.
Yes, it's the nor'easter favouring Manly, coming across field. Not very strong, however.
Dave Brown, Broadhurst there. A solid tackle. Offside, rightly so. About 4 Manly forwards within the 5. Les Boyd trying to manipulate that. Is it his left shoulder he's had trouble with for a couple of years, Barry?
Yes, I think so, and he sustained that then in that when he crashed through the ruck.
Randall just asked him, is he okay? And he said yes. And here he comes now. Well, he gave it a test on Harvey. Tobin, crossfield, Gerard has him, and Broadhurst. Terry Fay, first touch. McCabe. Good at breaking tackles, McCabe. The way he uses his chest, he goes down low and bumps them off. Laurie. Oh, that pass wasn't a great one, but it was taken well out there. Gibbs first feed. Other Eastern Suburbs scrum win, and a good one. Laurie. Fay. Still going. Loses the ball. Behind Edie. Has to be a knock-on, unless Manly come up with it. Mooney did. Boyd. Picked up and driven backwards. Mooney. That's a bit more the Tom Mooney we've come to watch for 7 seasons at Manly. Broadhurst. Thompson clapping his hands out on the left there. Got it now. Gordon. All heavy contact. Tobin in hard. And the 6th coming up. Back to Edie. It's not a great kick. Bounces nicely for Gurr. McFarlane on the inside. Runs into a Randall tackle on the halfway line. No score in this game. We've had 6.5 minutes. David Michael. Crisscross move used. Is Brown. Famous name, Dave Brown. Former Queenslander, Barry Ross.
Yes, that's right. He represented Queensland in 1979. As you say, that is a famous name from the Eastern Suburbs side too, back in the 30s.
Paul McCabe to his feet. Hastings. Harvey. Harvey. Oh, lacked support. And Manly defence a little bit threadbare on the blind side. Tobin. Laurie. Fay leaves it behind. And Eastern Suburbs have come up with the dregs. Laurie was able to get down to it quickly, so they get a scrum out of that. The only reservation I have about Terry Fay as a centre is his handling at times can be a little bit substandard. First scrum win to Manly. Thompson, beautiful pass out to Dorahy. Dorahy looking for support, lobs it out to Mooney. Then to Dorahy again on the run around. Comes away from the sideline. Up to the Eastern Suburbs quarter. Mooney. Thompson, Broadhurst, straight ahead. Looking to turn his body and unload, but they wrapped him up. Brown, Gibbs, Thompson, across Randall to Gartner. Edie! Oh, and a great tackle there from Kerry Bosted, put him down. Chris Montgomery, up to the quarter line, midfield. Eastern Suburbs defence very stern. Brown, Thompson, Gartner, that little stutter and stammer with his legs that gets a flick away. Well to Dorahy. Into the corner go Manly. No score in this game. We've had 8.5 minutes. Last tackle. Up goes the high kick. Gibbs is coming through to put him onside. And it's beautifully taken by Gurr. Clay picks it up a dummy half. Runs at Broadhurst and 11 metres out tackle. Des O'Reilly. Broadhurst again. I think he's getting played by the tackle, Barry.
Yes, he's going very well, as he has in every game since he's joined Manly.
Rocky Laurie well inside. That ball's gone backwards nicely. Knocked back by Eastern Suburbs with 6 to go. Tobin. Gurr. Good defence. And it's pretty hard out there, let me tell you. Hastings' kick is a very fine one and takes it about 9 metres from the halfway line. It's a top kick. Left footer. This telecast brought to you by Mazda and your local Mazda dealers. Scrum feed to Hastings. And a clean heel. Masterman doing a good job. Give you some statistics in a minute. Boasted takes that well. Oh, the defence was strong. Laurie on the blind side. McFarlane back infield. What an improved winger this lad is. Comes at pace in both sides. Laurie, Vaughton, the tackler. Pace a cracker. Randall there too to assist. Gurr, Hastings, Boasted. Harvey, Boasted, big step, Hastings. Looks to support Tobin. Tobin busts one tackle, going nicely. And taken from behind finally by Thompson. Manly not putting their man down at the moment. Masterman, Hastings, Harvey. Paul McCabe. About 8 metres from Manly's quarter, midfield, last tackle. Hastings. Laurie. Drops the ball. Manly have it through Broadhurst. Randall, Vaughton, Montgomery. Did well to get his pass back into Vaughton. Vaughton steps and goes well. Randall again. Gets up over halfway. Forward pass out to Randall. And then away to Montgomery. It was forward, but it's a try. The referee's missed it. It's in the corner. That's a fair try. Executed except for one pass. See it again. And here we go. The replay with Vaughton to Randall, now to Gibbs. Watch the pass from Gibbs. That one back to Randall was the one I called forward. Onto Montgomery, sprinting away nicely. The cover defence comes to him in Boasted, and he's there from head on. Vaughton backing up nicely. Randall involved twice in the move. Gibbs running behind the goalpost. That was the pass we didn't like. On Montgomery. And how many times have we seen Boasted this season hanging off somebody as they scored a try after covering beautifully? Great work, Montgomery. Beattie now with an attempted conversion of the Montgomery try. He's wide out on the quarter line and the sideline. Breeze directly behind him. Strikes it just to the left. And the score remains Manly 3, Eastern Suburbs 0. Barry Ross has a big man on the sideline with him that would love to be out there. Noel Cleal.
Yes, Noel, you've had a bit of trouble with that leg injury. What is the story with it?
Oh, first, Barry, I thought it was just a sprain, but I've had specialists and that have a look at it, and it's posterioritis that call it. The lifting of the envelope around the bone, it's been lifted and it's bleeding underneath. So.
When would you be playing football again?
Oh, hopefully I'll be back next week, mate.
Alan Thompson on the burst. Gives it to Gardner. Gardner's on the fly. He's had the ball knocked out of his hands. David has it. And it's offside play. Offside play against Eastern Suburbs. that was a move that had everything going for it. Gardner was flying when he took the ball. Eadie will take the kick. I think it's worth a look again to see the breakdown in that, as Thompson made the break back in his quarter. Now there's Thompson hopping through the tackle. The pass into Gardner. And an Eastern Suburbs player in an offside position. 9 goals from 16 and 81. Success rate 56.3. 80 goals from 124 and 80. 64.5. Strikes that, and it's a goal, and a very fine one. So Manly go to a 5-0 lead over Eastern Suburbs. Well, the scrum went to Eastern Suburbs. The weight went off the Manly pack then. They seemed to have the ball. Busted up the middle. Looks to support, can't get a pass away. Thompson was the man that dragged him to the ground. Gurr. Laurie steps, starts, and still goes. Back to Hastings, long floating pass out to John Harvey, into Fay, and Fay leaves it behind again. And again Manly have left the ball on the ground and not fallen on it. Very slow to the loose ball. Fay is sort of in the early stages of this game, living up to my worst expectations about his handling. There's a scrum win, perhaps to Manly if they get it out. It's under the feet there. Who's going to get this one? Eastern Suburbs again. Bad scrummaging. Laurie, Hastings doubles around the blind side. Thompson misses him from behind. 10 metres out now. 5-0 Manly lead. A try and a goal. Laurie, the dummy. Harvey evades one tackle. The Manly defence stretched to breaking at the moment. Des O'Reilly runs from dummy half. Managed to get a pass away. Dave Brown has it. Bulldozers. And he's there. Good try. Powerful try for the big young Queenslander. And that gets Eastern Suburbs back almost on level terms. Manly 5, East 3. See it again. Now Des O'Reilly set the play up and then was able to get some sort of a pass away, which came to him on the nice bounce. And from head on, it's apparent that Terry Randall might have been knocked right out of the way, which is not something you see all that often in Sydney football. Now watch Randall take him head on, and he's left him behind. Kevin Hastings from 20 metres in from the sideline and about 20 metres out from the goal line. Just left that to the left a little, and that's a let-off for Manly. So the score remains Manly 5, East 3. We're continuing with our weekly TV award to the best footballer of the weekly telecast match. The selected player will be called the King G Footballer of the Week. He'll receive $400 and appear on Sports World the following week to receive his cheque. Manly to kick off. At year's end, all the weekly award winners will be judged by the Controversy Corner panel, Gurr, Wade McFarlane. The overall winner will be named the Mazda Footballer of the Year and receive a magnificent Mazda RX-7 sports car valued at $16,770. Beautiful prize, beautiful car. Similarly, the player judged to have been responsible for the King G try of the match receives $150. At year's end, all those tries will be judged. The player judged to have been responsible for the Mazda try of the year will receive a mighty Mazda 626 valued at $9,090. Eastern Suburbs with Hastings kicking selectively. It looks like a good one. Beautiful kick, left-footed a touch. And they don't kick in rugby union any better than this little man, Kevin Hastings. The scrum now on the Manly quarter line. East lose the scrum. Gibbs has a little sprint. Tobin the tackler. Vaughton, Thompson, Eadie. Whoops. Slipped and fell as Hastings came to him. Randall, Broadhurst. Got a pass away to Gardner. Gardner.
Nicely to Gibbs. Gibbs nearly with a clear and up towards halfway. One of the best bits of football I've seen from Gardner for quite a while.
Yes, he's playing his 100th first-grade match with Manly today also.
Randall. And Harvey welcomes him to Brookvale Oval. Says, I know a bit about this park too, Terry. Broadhurst. Broadhurst always looking to get the ball away if he can. On the halfway line, 6 tackles, Ray Brown. Gibbs, Thompson, Dorahy. Nice little step and a great tackle right round the boots by Fay. Top action in the opening 23 minutes. Hardly time to draw breath. Hastings to feed. Penalty to Manly. What's the balking? He's got Hastings for balking, not getting the ball in straight away. Dumming, if you like. Well, the heat seems to have gone off the differential penalty situation. I've noticed all the players now seem quite content just to take the kick for touch. There's none of that frantic business of trying to get the second penalty. The last 3 games I've seen. Crisscross move, Les Boyd through the middle. Runs into a wall. Gibbs, Thompson. Pass to Dorahy. 10 metres now from the Eastern Suburbs quarter line. Gerard. Good player around the close area of the ruck is Gerard. Brown. There's the error situation. East 4, Manly 2. 6 to go, says the referee. As Edie comes up with that ball. Brown. Vaughton steps. Gets a pass to Gibbs. Can't handle it. Yes, he can. He's got it behind his back. But the referee, I think quite rightly, said it was a forward pass. I think that's quite right. But it was an incredible scoop up by Gibbs. He had the ball actually behind his back at one stage. And there's a scrum win to Manly. Gibbs. Gerard. Now Gardner clapping for the ball, screaming for it almost. There he is. Out to Thompson. Edie holds up the pass, gives it back inside to Thompson. Thompson there to Randall. About 10 metres out now. Eastern Suburbs on the rack. Broadhurst from dummy half. He could have been penalised for shepherding. Gardner. Oh, great tackling right round the boots there by Paul McCabe. Montgomery looking for his second try. He scored 2 last week against Balmain. Boyd! It's gone astray. By heck, they came together hard. Well, Broadhurst finished up with it, but the referee judged there'd been a little knock on. Still got 13 action-packed minutes to half-time. Manly hanging grimly to a 5-3 lead. And a constant buzz of excitement around the ground. Hastings feeds. A penalty to Manly. Let's see if they try to do this quickly. Gibbs has got the ball. Now, in this situation, East have only going to retire to the goal line because it's either 10 yards or the goal line. Now Edie's going to kick backwards, one might think, to open the angle a little bit. That's what he's done. Now you can follow the reasoning for that. That means that Manly have got more depth to attack from. The opposition will be further away from them when they first receive the ball. Now here's a set-piece move. Watch it. The ball goes in there and around, and Boyd to Gerard. A pass to Thompson, out to Gardner. Gardner steps back inside. He's won the ball. 11 metres out from Eastern Suburbs line. Ray Brown, one-handed to Gibbs. Gibbs lobs a pass over the top to Randall. Randall gets it back to Gibbs, and it's a beautiful try. Oh, yes. And the crowd have gone berserk here. See that again. Brad Brown started it. Gibbs, the little lob pass over the top, basketball. Randall stood him up, and there was Gibbs on the run around. See it again from head on. Looks great. Brown's to be congratulated on that. Randall held it well. Faye's tackle a little late, and look at Gibbs come on the boil. Yes, that's a top try. Edie. 12 metres out and about 15 metres off centre. Drives it hard, straight up to the stand, and that's another point, 2 points to Manly. So they move the point score on. Manly now 10, Eastern Suburbs 3. Noel Cleal still sitting with Barry Ross there. I suggest perhaps the Faye experiment in the centre has not been a success for the opening half hour. Was Cleal have any comment on that?
Yes, Noel, that some people would have considered that putting Terry Faye in the centre by Bob Faulkner was a bit of a surprise, and he has dropped a bit of the ball so far during the game. How do you see it?
Oh, he's a good player, Terry. Like play anywhere really, but I think dropping the ball, he's a little bit too keen to get in it, and that's what the reason is.
And the score's not too much to make up at this stage, is it? You can still see East getting up and winning this game.
Oh, mate, the last week they started slowly and then had a few setbacks. Oh, I can see it coming back. You know, they tied the ball up and not drop it as much as like 3 or 4 occasions already they've dropped it. So if they tie it up a little bit more, maybe. So yeah.
That's Noel Cleal, who'd love to be out there hurling his 16-stone frame around, I feel sure. And Vaughton again ran behind one of his own teammates there, which could have led to a Shepherd, but the referee said no. Gerard. Nicely to Brown. Brown doing a good job of distribution. Dorahy with that beautiful footwork gets a bad pass away to Mooney. And Tom has a few words to say too. And Dorahy waves his head and says, well, you know, you can't win them all. Well, Tom says, for heaven's sake, when you're on my side of the field, win a few. Good clean heel to Eastern Suburbs. In comes Gurr, the fullback. Bosted doing a great job out there. Decisive in attack and beautiful in defence. If the word beautiful can describe tackling. There's O'Reilly. 10-3 Manly lead. Reserve grade was a great game of football. Eastern Suburbs ran out winners 16-7, but it was in doubt until the last 5 or 6 minutes. And in the under-23s, Manly recorded a very meritorious 25-3 victory. Hastings selectively to Bosted, then to Gurr, back to Tobin, the lock doing a great cover job out there. Switch it across the ruck to Eastern Suburbs. Brown rather, getting involved, and Les Boyd, I think, thought he was being penalised there, but there was nothing wrong with that tackle. Just a straight out horrifying back slant. Johnny Gibbs to feed. Another scrum win to Eastern Suburbs. The scrum ratio is about 2-1, 8-4. East win the scrums, and Manly have had the penalties 5-2. Tobin, good acceleration, and a great tackle from Thompson behind. Manly a little bit slow to get into position now. There's Harvey coming on the burst and knocks Boyd right out of the way. A penalty against Harvey. And Masterman is told to shut up by the referee, or he'll be walked another 10 metres. Yes, I think he might have got, I was loath to say because I didn't actually see it, but I think there may have been an inference of Harvey holding his elbow up to defend himself while carrying the ball. Broadhurst, full of enthusiasm. Down, Vaughton. Just the tempo slackened off, as they've got every right to in the last few minutes. Lovely pass from Gerard. He loses the ball out the end of it. Edie's there to do the tackle on Harvey. There's Boyd doing a fair bit of talking out there. Touch judge in. Let's have a look at that incident again. Harvey ostensibly groggy. I don't think there's... Well, there may be something wrong. I won't say. Let's see this. Well, it doesn't show... Did you see it, Barry? You were sitting 10 metres from it.
No, I didn't see anything overly. I mean, Les went in pretty vigorous to the tackle, and probably that was a square up when he was embarrassed when Harvey sent him on his backside a couple of minutes ago, but I didn't see anything overly bad.
There was no suggestion of knees because Boyd fell backwards over the body of Harvey. Well, yes, there's my director has just informed me that there may have been a suggestion of a punch in there, which doesn't horrify me all that much.
I didn't see a punch.
Now then, Eastern Suburbs with 5 minutes to go will like to diminish this scoreline. 10-3 they trail. Bit of luck there. The ball ricocheted back Eastern Suburbs' way after the pass went astray. Tobin at dummy half. There's O'Reilly. Laurie calling for the ball on the open side. McCabe over the top of Vaughton, but Randall was there with Thompson. Laurie, Harvey, beautiful pass, and Tobin has the ball knocked out of his hands. Gerard comes up with it very nicely. Just on the Manly quarter line. A little long floating pass out to Johnny Gibbs. Under Dorahy. Dorahy's got himself into the clear. Looks for Montgomery. He's there on the inside. He's run away from support. Now he looks again. Back to Gibbs. It's gone to the ground. That was a terrible pass. Offside. Quite right. It was a terrible pass from Montgomery, but it touched an Eastern Suburbs player, and another Eastern Suburbs player coming back into an onside position came up with it, so it's offside. The innovation by the Rugby League in putting a Tooth Cup match on at Oaks Oval Lismore next Wednesday night between two Sydney clubs, I think, is to be applauded.
Yes, it's great news. They've got a very good lighting system up there at Oaks Oval also. A very good lighting system, and I would expect a crowd of 10 to 15,000 to see that game if the weather's good.
It's Balmain and St George. They should give the northern New South Wales fans a great lift. Eadie, 5 metres from halfway, about 15 metres off centre. Just away to the left. Gurr has it. Through one tackle. 5 metres from the quarter line. About 2 minutes to half time. Masterman. McCabe. A tearaway type of a player. Probably passed there from Laurie out to Bowstead. Michaels goes, no, he doesn't. There's a good bit of defence by Gartner. It was slow moving because he only had him by one leg and he was hopping like a kangaroo. Well, he's lost the ball. That's something you don't often see Des O'Reilly in that way. And a penalty this time to Eastern Suburbs. It's against the front row for not facing square on. That's exactly the ruling that referee Gosha, who, apart from one ruling that I personally disagree with, I think has had a fair game. A couple of difficult offside decisions that he's made and made correctly and quickly. Now Eastern Suburbs. Little run around move there with Harvey, who's having a top game for Eastern Suburbs. Finishing with the ball. Laurie. Bowstead. Pass comes free. Masterman. There it is. There's the situation. Manly have created 7. Eastern Suburbs 6. That's the number of times each side has given the ball back to their opponents. Hastings at dummy half. Laurie trying to hold that ball up. There's O'Reilly. And that's the 6 with about 30 seconds to go to half time. Perhaps less. game played at a great pace in this opening 40-minute stanza. Well, up the blind side, Gurr with a kick. Eadie safe as a bank. And that's the half-time break. Half-time, Manly lead 10-3. The scorers for Manly have been John Gibbs a try, Chris Montgomery a try, and Eadie 2 goals from 3 attempts. For the Eastern Suburbs side, their try came to Dave Brown after a bullocking run. The statistics of the match so far, Manly bleeding to death in the scrums, 9-4, better than 2-1 against them. The penalties have gone, however, Manly's way, 7-4. The errors I've already given you. Back in just a few moments' time with a hope that we see some great football of the similar nature that we've seen in the first half. Manly 10, East 3. And away they go for the second half, Manly leading 10 points to 3. Straight through the arms there of Marty Gurr, but no harm done. Up to the quarter line. Shadow starting to stretch right across this ground now. Back to Gurr. Pretty good punt way upfield. Gibbs has knocked it behind him, no knock on. He swung round awkwardly in that tackle. They're the ones you do cruciate ligaments, and those sort of ones where the feet stay still and the body twists. Harvey going to be penalised for well, pressing down a downward pressure. I don't think there was any intent to knee Eadie there personally. Barry Ross has been in both the dressing rooms. Now, what's the Eastern Suburbs story?
Well, Bobby Fulton was in unusually high spirits. He thinks he can win this game still, and I think that he's going to use the kicking game quite extensively, use that breeze down there, and of course he wants East to eliminate their errors. Bob did go to the dressing room, to the referee's dressing room at half-time before going into his team's talk, and there was a couple of things he wanted cleared up with referee Gaisha, but of course coaches aren't allowed in the dressing rooms at half-time, and so Gaisha didn't answer these questions. Ray Ritchie, he's reasonably happy, as he should be, because the team are leading. He was a bit concerned with some of the drop ball and, of course, the scrums, and they're going to endeavour to tighten that up this half. Manly could be using Les Boyd for 10-15 minutes and then make a change.
Who's likely to come on?
Well, I don't think they've made a decision yet. Wayne Springwell's sitting here behind me, and maybe Willoughby.
Right, well, there's another one that would come to mind. Teasdale could be used.
Fred Teasdale, yes.
Anyway, that's in the future, perhaps. That was a good kick, and the scrum will now go down 10 metres out from Manly's quarter, and the leakage from Manly possession starts again as Laurie makes a half break. Scrums at 10-4 in Eastern Suburbs' favour. Tobin with a good weaving run gets up to the quarter. He had 3 men in support on the outside and died with it. McCabe unloaded well to Des O'Reilly, and he couldn't just free his arms at the last moment. Manly under a bit of pressure. Hastings. Harvey. Pounded his way another 4 metres closer. Little kick through by Gurr. He's a master at those. Eadie changes direction and beats that tackle and gets into the field of play. Indeed, he's up to the quarter line and going like a train and manages to get it out about 10 metres. That's a great run from the Australian fullback. Well, allowing that Gary Dowling as the Australian fullback. Eadie was for quite a few seasons. Overlap here if they can move it wide. Les Boyd straightens it up as he had to do. Dorahy shut. No, that's Ray Brown. Broadhurst. Well, that was good Eastern Suburbs cover. Gibbs running from dummy half. Still going. Broadhurst. Lovely pass on to Gerard. Oh, and Terry Randall couldn't handle it. Eastern Suburbs in possession. Tobin, the lock, standing wide. Just tackled his own side of half-line. 10-3, Manly lead. 4 minutes of the second half gone. Masterman at dummy half. Hastings. Fay again loses the ball. I think that's the 5th time, 4th time perhaps. Thompson. Gordon. contact is enormous. Gibbs. Gerard. Player down at the moment. Thompson, but he's okay. Terry Randall. And Gartner on the fly on the inside. Seemed to get up and drop the ball. Jeff Masterman, 16 scrums from 32 in his first season. Success rate of just 50%. There's another one for them. Laurie. Hastings. Ghosted. Oh, that was on if he'd tried to get that pass away. Montgomery was there for the intercept. Gurr. Randall the tackler. 10 metres from half-line. Laurie. Paul McCabe. Harvey. The run around with Masterman. Clever little player, this fella. There's O'Reilly. McFarlane on the halfway line, last tackle. It'll be the kick almost certainly. No, Hastings elects to run. So the kicking game not in evidence on that occasion. Well, I'd suggest Ray Ritchie, the Manly coach, has got a fair bit of work to do on this scrum. Manly are not coming up with the answers. The forwards are not coming up with the answers. There's a penalty. Differential. Collapsing the front row of that Eastern Suburbs pack seemed to be the ruling. Graham Eadie, the kicker. Midway between halfway and East's quarter line. 10-3. 7 minutes gone. Randall. Thompson. Gibbs. Eadie. Back to Gibbs. Gibbs loves this broken field running. Look at him. Brilliant little run. Great diagonal run. One of those rare birds that can do the most magnificent things. Gerard on the inside. Brown clapping his hands saying, come on, let's go, let's go. Thompson. Big Broadhurst is there. Oh, he's trying it right back. And Laurie's got it. Montgomery's got Laurie. David Michael. I think Michael might be better suited to the centre spot than Terry Fay. Dave Brown. Gibbs playing a role of being at the back with Eadie. There he is. Not up in the line. He's like a second fullback, or certainly a loose lock forward in defence. Eadie. One of those powerhouse charges of his. Thompson. Randall. Dorahy. Boyd. Oh, Montgomery can't handle. Well, it had to come quick, but Montgomery really should have taken that. It wasn't a perfect pass, but it should have been taken. Great crowd here at Brookvale. Brown unceremoniously dumped out of that scrum. Thompson feeding now and Gibbs at 5'8". The long floating pass across to Gartner. Gartner steps inside one man. Up to the halfway line. So Manly have gone for the solution of Thompson at halfback and Gibbs at 5'8". Pass astray. Vaughton has it. Always know when you're tackled when Terry Fay grabs hold of you. Tom Mooney sits that ball down. Easton back in possession on the halfway. Harvey. Bowstead. McCain sprinting beautifully. Terry Randall's tackle evaded, but not the one of Thompson's. Now Eastern Suburbs in a good attacking position. Manly in disarray. O'Reilly looking for support. Manly on the rack at the moment. There's Brown trying for his second. Coming on the burst. That'll be 6 to go. There's an overlap out here. McFarlane has it. And the Manly defence, all those stretched holes. Fay tries to go from dummy half. He's within 2 metres. Tobin at dummy half. Hastings. Des O'Reilly. There'll be a penalty against Manly if they don't get back on side. Hastings. Harvey. Hastings. Good floating pass out there. Oh, McCain. It's only a metre away. It's the last tackle. Manly really on the rack at the moment. Hastings, a long floating pass has gone right out to Michaels. Michaels round his man, then for the try. Montgomery left the dead. Literally left the dead. Very important score, 10 points to 6, and I say again, I think Michaels would be better suited to the centre spot than Terry Fay. See that try again. Hastings with a long floater. He just stood him up and went round him. Dead easy from head on. Well, as little can be said, it was a very awful attempted tackle. Hastings from the sideline. He's about a metre in, actually, but from the junction of the quarter line and the sideline, across the breeze, he'll aim at the left-hand upright as we look at it. Not a noted long-range goal kicker. Left foot. It's a great goal. He's kicked it from the sideline. And the score then, with plenty of time for a result either way. Manly 10, East 8. Eadie gets them underway. Gurr, the kicking game on now. Fulton won't play football in his own quarter. Gibbs is back. All these players are offside. They can't touch the ball until Gibbs fumbles it or runs with it. He can take his time. And he's tackled straight away. Thompson. Eadie. Now Manly all back inside now. Ray Brown. Tom Mooney. Just outside his quarter. Dorahy. Broadhurst. Strong run. 8-metre gain. Brown. Thompson. Dorahy. Oh, Gibbs under pressure. It'll be a try. At least get to it. It'll be a try. No, they've blown it. They've blown it. Terry Fay couldn't handle. A line drop out, and Manly really. Dorahy had no right to throw a pass like that. Gibbs was under enormous pressure. The defence was right on him. And it was never on that pass. Watch it again. Right up on him. Bowstead was through so quickly. Now watch Terry Fay. Knocked the ball, unable to pick it up. There were knock-ons galore. Bowstead from the line, drop out, restart. Well, a curious transformation come over this game. Eastern Suburbs, the team doing all the attacking, because they've had a huge amount of possession. Hastings. Harvey. The Vaughton tackle was a blockbuster. Might have done himself a mischief too. Hastings, McLeod, McKay, brother. Gurr, caught by the jersey. Broadhurst the tackler. Laurie. Still they go. Michael's in the corner. No, he slips and falls. Well, if he doesn't fall over, then he's in for another try, I feel sure. He ran out of rubber. The ball fell out of Johnny Gibbs' hands. Then he was trying to put it in. There's a clean heel to Eastern Suburbs. They are crucifying Manly. And there's Michaels now. Oh, he's only, what, 2 metres away. You can see the pressure now coming in waves. Hastings wrapped up. Gibbs is there first. Cooper, Masterman, Laurie, Bostad. Running around in ever diminishing circles, but behind one of his own players, and he's been penalised for shepherding.
Les Boyd's coming off for Manly, and Fred Teasdale wearing number 18 going on.
Replacing Les Boyd.
Broadhurst. Scrums are a horrifying from Manly's point of view, 12-5 in Eastern Suburbs' favour. The penalties are a little bit the other way, 10-4 in Manly's favour. Vaughton thought about passing that, would have been suicide. Brown from dummy half makes a good inroad. Unloaded. Gerard. Broadhurst. Brown did well against Balmain last week running from dummy half, getting the Manly players running forward. Thompson. The dummy. Gibbs has it. Montgomery, the winger who's come midfield, has it now. Last tackle. Looks a little bit like Balaclava out there at the moment. Players all over the field lying down. And that's the 6. There's the error situation. Manly have really fallen away badly in the second half. They've committed 8 errors in this first 20 minutes of the second half. 15-7. Another scrum win to Eastern Suburbs. Fay. Fay to his feet. Laurie. Fay again. Randall the tackler. You can see the jolt of power go through Fay's body there. Laurie. Hastings. McCabe. And slipped through the tackle does McFarlane, but he's picked up from the halfway. Gerard the tackler. Hastings. Michaels around his man again up the sideline. Vaughton's tracking. So's Edie. Here they come now. And he's picked up only about 3 metres out. Montgomery left pointless again. I think this is a technical error. They're not using Michaels in the centre. My own view. Eastern Suburbs now. Rocky Laurie in the pass to Hastings. He's up the post. It's a great try. They've had Manly on the rack for 15 minutes. And the game is slipping away. East 11, Manly 10. See that again. Great play here by Laurie. Watch him now. Accelerate. Get through the tackle of Gibbs and unload it to Hastings underneath the post. This was all brought about by the great run of Michael up the sideline, in which he very nearly scored himself. Laurie accelerates on the inside, sucks the defence to him. Hastings taking the pass and scoring a very fine try indeed. Hastings from directly in front, 10 metres out. Pilots that over, converting his own try. So the score then, with 22 minutes of this second half gone, Eastern Suburbs 13, 3 tries and 2 goals. To Manly's 10, 2 tries and 2 goals. And we've got a stretcher on the field for Teasdale. And I think Wayne Springall is now on, playing in number 17. He will be on shortly.
No, East have replaced Michael with number 16, Jeff Fisher.
Number 16, Jeff Fisher coming on for Michael. And Teasdale off, Springall on.
I think they'll revert with Terry Fay back to the wing now and place Fisher in the centres.
Right, 13-10. Eastern Suburbs lead. 18 minutes to go. Springall in action straight away with a tackle there on McCabe. Hastings to feed. Both the hookers being called out, or rather Masterman being called out. Hastings is the captain, is called in to that confab. At 16 minutes to go. Edie's kick for touch puts Manly in a good attacking position. The error count is one of the problems. Broadhurst, 20 metres away. Gibbs, Thompson, Gorohy, back inside to Gardner, then to Edie. Set piece move. Thompson, Randall. Driven back hard by strong defence from John Harvey. Gorohy on the quarter line. Broadhurst runs from dummy half. Got a pass away well to Randall. It's been knocked down. Mooney has it. It's the last tackle. Gibbs weaving his way through to within 20 metres of the line, and that's the 6. The crowd wanting 6 extra tackles there. Claiming the ball was knocked down by an Eastern Suburbs player. Another scrum win to Eastern Suburbs. It's becoming a positive embarrassment. 14-5. Is O'Reilly. 13-10. Eastern Suburbs. Great comeback. A kicking game with Gurr driving it downfield. Now all these East players are offside until Edie's done what he's to do. He's kicked, put Gurr under some pressure. Gurr's kick is a very long one over Edie's head. And he's lost a bit of ground there. Edie's not to be put off by Tobin charging in. There's a terrible kick off the side of the foot, but he's found an open space. Old-fashioned kicking duel. Gurr to Fay. Fay wrapped up, not held. Through another tackle. McCabe, 2 metres from halfway. Laurie. Masterman. Brown. A clash between two Manly players. Hastings. Harvey. Pass has gone to Brown. Gerard tries to get to it right on the halfway, but beaten by Gurr. There's another great kick, turning Manly back. 13 minutes to go. Another scrum win to Eastern Suburbs, so Manly can look to this horrifying scrum count as one of their main reasons for loss in this game should they lose it. Tobin waves the tackle of Brown, going strongly, nicely taken by Swingall right round the boots. It's a top tackle. Penalty, and that's a kick at goal offence. Striking prematurely, lifting the knee. Kerr puts them deep into Manly territory. Time running out, 8 minutes to go. Crisscross move. Laurie ended up with the ball. Harvey trying to batter his way over from dummy half. Harvey. Very strong player, Paul McCabe. There's O'Reilly. Hastings, Laurie, the dummy. McFarlane. There's O'Reilly again. Broadhurst has been penalised. No, he hasn't. It's been a lost ball. And a scrum will restart play with about 7.5 minutes to go. 13-10, Eastern Suburbs lead. Another Eastern Suburbs scrum win. They just can't get the ball. They're starving to death. It's now 16-5 in favour of Eastern Suburbs, the scrum count. Hastings evades one tackle. Laurie, Tobin. There he is again, this young Paul McCabe, who I tipped as a representative possibility. Laurie. Kerr breaks the tackle. It must be a try. It is so easy. So easy to McFarlane. Just an overhead lob pass when the tackle was missed. And that's the ball game as far as Manly are concerned. And the crowd recognise the fact. There's a sudden scurry of movement. See it again. The pass from Laurie. Dorohey just failed to get hold properly of Marty Kerr. He was able to lob the pass out to McFarlane, and he was in for the try. And then again from head on, Dorohey tried to go ball and all high to smother it and just got shrugged off. And Kerr couldn't believe his luck. Borton had no chance at all there, of course. So very much an Eastern Suburbs day here, but frankly I'm surprised they haven't run in more tries with a huge amount of possession they've had. 14,400 crowd here at Brookvale. 16 points to 10. Unsuccessful. The score remains as it was, 16-10. And we've got just 5 minutes to go. Beautifully taken by Harvey there. Dave Brown. Hastings. Laurie. I think there'll be a pretty solid lobby of support for Max Squillage to come back into this Manly side as hooker.
I was surprised that Ray Ritchie didn't consider using him this half of the game.
I was surprised he didn't use him last week. Graham Eadie still trying hard. All the Manly players have packed it in, but they've been tackling nearly all day. Brown unloads nicely to Dorohey. Incredible acceleration, this man. Russell Gartner. And the ball goes down again. The error count. I think that's the second scrum Manly won this half. Third. Montgomery will run around with Thompson. There's the error situation. Manly have committed 17 errors. And Eastern Suburbs 10. That's the number of times they've each given the ball back to the opposition. Gartner's left it behind. Play on, says the referee. It came off Broadhurst's foot. It wasn't a knock-on. Look at the Manly players. You can put an Indian blanket over the lot of them. They're all a bunch. As Brown goes for a sprint upfield. Gibbs dummying to kick, but he's past the foot. East defence has been magnificent. They've swarmed in defence. Broadhurst. Randall, the intercept has been taken by Masterman. Frustration upon frustration for Manly players now, with under 2 minutes to go. East only have to play out time. They've got it well and surely by the collar. Masterman limping slowly there. Hastings, Laurie. It'll be true to say that Laurie's had the better of the 5-8 clash today. O'Reilly. Hastings. He's a fellow that I like the look of. Look at him. He's a good player, this boy. Away it goes to Terry Fay. Fay can't hit it away as he goes right through Eadie, but he's taken from behind. There was a parlous bit of defence, and the tackle's been affected. We've got under a minute to go. Scrum will restart play. Put this Paul McCabe down as a representative player. Eastern Suburbs scrum win. How many times have I said that today? Laurie. Perhaps 20 seconds to go. Tobin. Only about 5 metres out. 10 seconds perhaps, unofficial time. And Hastings going to rub salt in the wounds with a field goal attempt, which is unsuccessful. The hooter should go any moment now. There it is. And so Eastern Suburbs have come up with a very meritorious win over the Manly Warringah side of Brookvale, 16 points to 10. For the Eastern Suburbs side, tries to Michael, McFarlane, Hastings and Brown, and 2 goals to Kevin Hastings. For the Manly side, a try to Chris Montgomery and a try to Johnny Gibbs, and a penalty goal and a goal to Graham Eadie. The scrums are horrendous from Manly's point of view, 16-7 Eastern Suburbs way. The penalties are 12-6 in Manly's way. The errors situation is 18-10. Manly's in the debit side of Manly. So there it is, a very meritorious win, a strong win to Eastern Suburbs, have got themselves back on a good premiership track again.